All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rukah HaKadosh. Double lines to apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And based off the title, which is where he says Elon warned us about uh, dangerous AIs, which technically we're the ones who basically predicted it. But because he's more famous and on social media, more like pretty much as a famous person, of course, a lot of people's going to think this. But that's not where I'm going to the topic of the matter, because this is a clip about AIs actually shooting people, which I have the other clip to that. Well, not far as the shooting, but the other person, the same person explaining this more in depth. And we know Esau is behind a lot of this stuff that these things happen. Well, in this case, could be is more like probably a malfunction, but that whole Terminator thing with Skynet. It's really the Lord that controls all this shit, because a lot of people, and I see it in the comment board, a lot of people think it's how should I say, not crazy, but it's just, well, some people are actually afraid of this shit. Mind you, this video was posted in 2016 when this happened. Now we're seeing, and a lot of people thought it was fake then, because I'm looking at the comment boards from before and then up to now, where people a lot of it believe it's real. Because guess what? The UK has their own AI. China has their own AI, and this was from Japan. So a lot of people got proven wrong, and now people are starting to panic. And now that this video is resurfacing, well, some people starting to. I'm starting to even hear some people talk about it. So best believe some shit might kick off. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip and get into some scriptures.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the third. But the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than you.
So, and a lot of people, even because back then, like 2016, it wasn't even all that bad. You hear some crazy thing going on with the government, a lot of people didn't believe it. But then you got people that used to work with the government or these hospitals and was like, yeah, these things actually happen, but they can't really go out and speak on it like that. And the one thing that people really thought was fake about it is because she mentioned metal bullets, because a lot of your bullets made out of metal. But she didn't explain what type of metal bullets. And that's what I also want to go into as well, because these bullets, even your average bullets, are different from the bullets that even the military use. So the modern bullets are made up of from lead, brass, copper, zinc, plastic, rubber, and nylon. Those are your different type of bullets. And of course you got your casual ones, which is lead. Then you got the copper, which is copper and zinc, which lead to brass. So, and then you got liquid metal bullets. So, and it could have possibly been talking about that, because liquid metal bullets explode the moment it punctures you. Then you got steel bullets, which actually acts as armor piercers. So a lot of people excluded until recently. The last part she said, where this AI was able to link itself to a orbital system and download data, which is really not something that's all too surprising, considering that your signals come from a satellite. Like even your cable, when you hooked up the I forgot what they call it, the dish. I think it was for Verizon. You still gotta boost the signal. You still gotta come from a signal from the satellite. Does it not? So what more than an AI that can link itself to a satellite? So a lot of people tend to ignore these things, but this is now that people are actually starting to see other countries make these robots, and considering that Germany was the first place to make robots, this is starting to shake people's faith in Babylon now, because you're going to start seeing them more often. They're already starting. I think they're starting, or they have started, and then took them back out, which was the police robot dogs for New York. And I think they kept it around for a little bit, but they put it back in where they had them because it was starting to scare civilians. So be prepared to start seeing them in your airports, your grocery stores, even just walking around. They already did a test study, and I already did a video on this where they this robot that looked completely human walked up to some people and had a conversation. And then the robots were like, "Yeah, I'm an actual robot. I'm an AI." And people didn't even know. So imagine if they want to hunt someone down. And the last one video I did before, these robots, and the common thing is, and they trying to get this to be a more of a thing, is of course robots don't need to sleep. Robots don't need to eat. They don't need to rest. And now they trying to get it to where it doesn't even need to be charged. So that's a big difference. So if they find a J or like, or if they find somebody, which they're going to more likely be hunting us down, as far as like, because you got some of our people that won't be down with that MOTB, but then you got the some white wing Christians that won't be down with it. So if they can use it to track down a person that never gets tired, because we can, why how we wouldn't he do it? He wants all of us into this NWO. So what better way to do it than to use his own creation? So this is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." So they'll keep working on stuff like this. Meanwhile, trying to come up with some other things to keep people distracted. Meanwhile, dealing with other countries to prep for this World War III. See, these devils are multitaskers. They planning one thing after another, and they're doing it efficiently only because the Lord has given them that power to do so. And they are, because think about it. For the longest time, they had guns, whereas the average civilian did not. I'm talking when first starting out. Then all of a sudden, as you fast forward time, civilians was able to get guns from the local gun shop, but you couldn't get the military type of guns. Why is that? Even today, they only give you like a small portion of the military guns, because guess what? They upgrade the military upgrade their arsenal. So they're always planning ahead, because why give the civilians something they can use against us? Like for example, you can't buy a tank. You can buy a rocket launcher. I found that out, but you can't buy a tank. Why is that? So you can see the stipulations here. You can see the games Esau's playing, because guess what? He's saying that you may have an RPG, but I got something even better than an RPG. Hell, he's got weapons that can actually be used as lasers. So for that to be a thing, an RPG is not going to reach a person faster than that person can reach you with a laser instantly. Oh, it's the same thing with a bullet. Bullet works the same way. So this is Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is also, so like, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is not, I'm sorry, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So he'll keep running the game on as he can, because he wants to have everybody under this NWO. That's why he will make robots just to detain people, do all these other crazy things, just to convert people. He wants to keep everybody into a one world prison to follow only his guidelines, only everything he can do, so he can literally control the entire earth. That is his goal, to heap unto him all nations. He wants that full on control. And if he could do it by using AIs, then he'll do it. You already got other countries making military robots. And again, as I mentioned, Germany was the first to do it. Even though that robot was designed to be sounded as a war horn, because that's what it used. But now, you in these past year, I would say, they've been making robots that can actually use guns. They even got a little toy tank attached with a sniper on it. That all it has to do is just sit somewhere and get just pop you out of nowhere. What more do you think they're going to do when they actually introduce these in a city? Look at RoboCop, for example. In a city, employed for a job to be a cop. They need to rest for shit. They need to eat for shit. That was a perfect representation of what they're trying to implement inside the city. Sorry. Just on the average, just so they can keep and maintain their wickedness, to keep people under oppression, to make people accept a new way of their life, of what they have for these people. So that's the big difference. Be prepared to see these out on the street. Mind you, this was back in 2016, as far as this clip. Now you're seeing them more consistently of what China's doing, UK is doing, and now here. Or should I say, been here, really. So I would definitely post the other clip I found of her going a little bit more in depth with it. But Lord willing, this is edifying. With that, shalom.